Okay, everyone. So, thank you. I'm going to be very brief. And we're here to follow up on the documentation we shared already. And the documentation already has a plan. So we're here to answer why we're doing this. We're here to answer how we're going to do this remote work as a preparation, and any other miscellaneous questions that we may have. Okay. So in the climate of the current challenge, we see this as an opportunity, and we see that we want to explore remote work. So that's what we're going to do. We know there are communities of people in our industry. We are very privileged that are doing remote work, and the industry can do this. So we're going to put this to the test. Okay, this is what we are doing. We're putting this to the test, and what we have on our plan is that we have week 1 that is starting today, week 2 starting the 9th, and week 3 starting the 16th. Week 1, we're going to have mostly internal functions of the company. Week 2, moving into external functions of the company. And week 3, moving to almost everything. So we're going from 30% of the company working remote in 1 week to 60% to 90%. We did a poll in January and asked people if they could work from home, meaning that whether they have computers with screens, good connection, and they have good lighting. I think some of you have extraordinarily good lighting, shiny lights. But anyhow, based on that, we estimated that almost everyone can have the right working facilities from home, but I'm going to get back to that later. Why we're doing this? We're doing this to transform this challenge into an opportunity. And we're taking the opportunity, the circumstances, to learn if we are a company that can work remotely. We're doing this gradually. Week 1, we're going to learn what bits of access we need, what bits of ownership we need to improve. Everyone who is working remote this week is going to receive a questionnaire on Friday. And you have to answer what things could have been improved, what limitations you had. Anyway, the questions are still open. We're completing those questions. We will learn from that feedback and then move to the next iteration. We're going to find issues, the VPN, we're going to find issues, the subconnecting people, I don't know, things that we don't know what they are. Yeah. So that's why we're doing this, how we're doing it, I explained on the progression. And as per miscellaneous, you know, it's not just about working remote. We have to take each of us individually important measurements. We put some additional special soaps on the toilets. We did provision to have more of those on the meeting rooms. You should wash your hands, you know, so many times a day and sing happy birthday with it, you know. No joke. And we should take this very seriously on the hands washing, etc. That's just an important thing. Having said this, if you have any other ideas on preparation, do suggest, and we will take them on board. So does anybody have any questions? Any comments?
Anyone coughing?
Cough loud and fine, it's okay.
So this test, how long is it going to last? 3 weeks only, Angel?
Yeah, this test is likely to change and evolve because things are changing and we should change accordingly. But as far as we know today, we made it in accordance to what we know. It's a 3-week plan to move to 90%. By doing this, we will reduce, in theory, proportionally, the risk of getting people in the team off work and the risk of affecting the continuity of our service.
Good.
I love to see Ramiro and Robert chatting and having a laugh between them. They think I don't know, but I know because I can hear you thinking. You know? Anyway, joking aside.
We're commenting that we have the same chair, same IKEA chair.
I know, I'm glad you pay attention to this. But this is a serious matter. Joking aside, this is a serious matter. It's good to keep the humor on this. We're going to send Instagram stories around this, etc. But yeah, does anybody have any important questions that we need to share?
Yes, actually, this is Ivan from Coruña. I have a question. What about the events for the next 3 weeks?
Yes, exactly. Thank you for remembering this. The recommendation today is to avoid all traveling. You know, Germán has a trip booked that he's taking. I have a trip booked. I have a very, very important meeting that I am not cancelling in Madrid. I'm going to Madrid now to the airport. And after that, it's a difficult thing. On one side, you know, I sent my kids on a skiing trip for a week yesterday. So I'm not concerned with traveling. But I think we have to establish a norm, whether we do it earlier or later. So the way I see it now is that the recommendation is not to travel. The recommendation is not to travel. But it's likely that soon will be an obligation as a mandatory statement not to travel, not to put everybody in risk. You know? So on the next 3 weeks, as far as I know, I will put on hold all traveling. I am not going to book any trips to the US. We are communicating this at 1 p.m. to customers there, and we're going to communicate this to every customer and partner, in fact. So to your question, right now, unless it's strictly necessary, and it looks like the following days we should move to implementing no traveling at all, unless it's something extremely necessary. You know. How do you guys feel about that? Good.
Okay, sorry.
I know there are conferences booked for somewhere in March. Some people, right? There was some course, something, some seminar.
There is a Women Tech Maker with Lara here in Coruña for the next, in March, I think.
In the end of March, the 28th. Also, 18th and 19th, the Employment Forum in La Laboral. And in the end of the month, also Cubecon. It's a training event and a training conference.
And the Tech Fest on Madrid on 12th.
Yes, thank you.
Should we open a poll on this? I mean, my take is to put it on hold and not to take on these trips. You never know how can that affect, but I will avoid it. We can open a poll and we can make some exceptions. My inclination is to stop traveling. How do you guys feel about this?
I think it depends on the size of the event also, no? Yeah.
Very good point. So let's do that. Small events, we can go ahead cautiously, and bigger events, we don't do. Thank you, Flavio.
We should also be prepared for some of these events to be cancelled. I think the climate is that some of them will be cancelled. I also wanted to ask, what about personal travel? This is delicate, are we extending the recommendation to personal travel, people that have booked holidays and stuff like that, or this is only covers company?
Of course, this is only company. Each one is, you have to decide on what you do with your own handling of the situation. I like thinking of normalizing readiness, and it should extend to personal life, but it's normal to be ready and take the opportunity as well to learn something out of it. Okay? So I think it's important that if we travel to some place where we think we're going to be exposed. My brother was calling me today from the airport in Madrid. He said, I walked into the VIP room and it was all Italians with the masks. I walked back out. So, you know, you guys have to be responsible and share, you know. If you go in some place, you say, no, next week I'm going to join, even though I am not into the working from home program, because whatever. Let's just be communicative, own things, and try to communicate everything and keep everybody informed. So we've made that decision. Smaller events, you know, by smaller we can find a proper definition. Massive, large-scale events, bringing more people from more places, we'll try to avoid. We will avoid. Any other questions? Okay, we don't know what's going to happen, but we know we're going to take this as an opportunity, and on Friday we will have learned how capable we are to work remote for this first step, and we will take that learning into the next iteration for the week after. And in 3 weeks, almost everyone is going to be working remote. And then we'll come to the conclusions. Okay. We want to grow, and we see this as an opportunity because we want to tap on the market on remote workers. You know? So
maybe it's worth highlighting this. This is not because of how worried we're about the deadliness of the virus. This is just to test how ready we are to work from home. That's all. I mean, for most cases, people won't even realize they have it, and for 99% of the people, it'll be like a flu. So
exactly.
It's not that we think people are going to start dying out of this. But we'll see how ready we are to do this kind of thing.
That's such a key element of this. And everybody understood what Jose just said, right?
I mean, also something to consider is that, for example, in my case, I've been working remote for quite many years now, from Barcelona, London, and so on. As a company, we need to consider finding also local working spaces, because so many people will not have a comfortable working place or desk at home. We need to understand that as a company. So this is something that will probably be raising throughout, the week and stuff. That some people may not have the right conditions to work from home.
Which brings us to the idea that you can come to the office, and the office is going to be emptier and emptier and emptier. We're going to get to a point where there's going to be like 6 or 7 people across all the offices. So it's super safe in case that's the issue we're trying to deal with.
I'm very close to the hospital anyway.
Which is a very dangerous place to be. Right? So. Good. Guys, I think that's all. We wanted to be brief. We have the idea of why we're doing this, how we're doing this, and we're going to share the learnings of this first week. We have to make that extra effort in being communicative. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. The leaders of each team have to make an effort of being responsible and owning the process, Each of us has to make an effort of sharing, becoming visible to what we're doing, even though we are remote. And keep a notion of collaboration and active participation, We need each to participate and to contribute to this. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.